So this video you're going to learn about the cross stitch. It looks like a series of X's in a line here. So to get started, you start by getting your needle on the back and you're pushing through to the front of your burlap. Pull all of the yarn so there's no loops left over. And you're going to come diagonally. So push my needle down here. There's the first part of my X. Now, if this was a grid, I would come straight down and then straight over. That's the hole that I'm going to start with. Push my needle up here. Pull all of that yarn and make a jump over, making the rest of the X. And there is your X. If you think about this as if you were making a box, you're actually going to be stitching diagonal corners. So if I have that box, the cross stitch is nothing more than coming up here at this corner, pulling all of this yarn, and going back down on the opposite lower corner, and then jumping over here, and then finishing off at the top. I really think that if you always view this as a box, it'll be much easier for you. If you have a series of X's that you want to do in a row, like I did here, you don't have to do every X individually. I can start, and I'm going to make my first diagonal. And instead of finishing that one, I'm going to make the next diagonal, starting right next to it. So it's going to look like I'm making V's instead of X's, all these letters that we're doing. Do you know your alphabet? And I'm going to come back up here. I'll go down again. So I have one V. This is going to start my second V. Come up. Okay. Now, for the sake of time, I'm going to stop right there. All right. Now, to make them finish out being the X, the cross stitch, I'm going to finish it here. So I'm going to come across like this. So there's one X. Up at the top. Whoops, my needle came off. Give me just a second to get that right back on. There we go. So, up, pull, down, again, I'm going to come up for the next X. And then I'm going to finish it off. You do want to see the X's that you're doing. Sometimes they come out a little better than others. So here's my row of X's. So you can see this one really looks like an X. This one, it's because of the burlap and the way that it's woven here. This one doesn't quite look as good as the ones to either side. It's made the same way. But as long as overall they look like X's and not Y's or other weird letters, you're going to be fine. Best of luck.